Hello, chat. What is up? Alrighty. Some deck reviews. I don't know how many I'm going to get to today, to be honest. I mean, it's the start of the month. I got plenty more time to stream. But I wanted to do a few today, and then I have to edit the podcast because Yusuf is out of town, so got a lot going on. But I wanted to do a couple of lists today. So, right here, we got Henzy Toolbox Torre. This is a fun commander. I think this is a really interesting design as far as commanders go. Actually, I don't know why I'm zooming into this because I'm not going to be using Voxfield. I'm going to put this onto my architect. Oh, maybe plain text will work better. There we go. And then set Henzy as the heck. How do I set him as a commander? Am I stupid? Did they change architect while I wasn't looking? Wasn't it like right here? Am I crazy? Why can't I set him as my commander? Oh, did I forget to make this a commander deck? There we go, set as commander. That was weird. Okay. Also, categories, get out of here. Sort by, I don't know, mana value. Nah. Group by type. There we go. It just changed the deck setting. Yeah, I see. Okay. This is what I wanted, though. People ask me all the time if I use categories. I do not. I do not use categories. I organize by type and then alphabetical because, a card like Cankerbloom, is this removal? Or is this, counters proliferating, token, whatever, what category do you put it in? Who knows? But if I want to know if Cankerbloom is in here, I do know that that is a creature and it starts with a C. So if it's organized by type and alphabet, I can find it. This is why I don't use categories. Anywho, ways, got 39 creatures, classic for Henzy. Now, this user said the deck feels powerful and gets a lot of value, but never actually wins. And this is like an easy peasy fix. A lot of times you can kind of go to Value Town with decks, especially decks like Henzy. You go to Value Town, you play your Elder Brain for 2 mana, but it doesn't like do anything. And the solution is twofold. Either we put more big things in there that actually, close out the game so we get even more value to actually push us over the line, or you put some more definitive finishers in the list. Like a Bonehorde Dracosaur would be like a more value to push you even further into like the value pile. But what I think is honestly perhaps even better than that is just things that do a lot of damage and more of that, more Bane of Balaged type things. I'm trying to say what would be like the best one here. I mean, it doesn't have to be an Eldrazi. I don't want us to just like Blightsteel or something too boring. Like I kind of want something that's maybe a little bit more interesting than that. Let's go Jund colors. I'm looking for a creature. I feel like it's got to be like greater than or equal to, let's say 7. So let's actually like look for some big stuff here. Okay, so Crater Hoof, I don't know if we go wide enough for that. I want to skip past like the first little bit here. I want to find something else that does a lot of damage. Maybe the Primordial. Is that one already in here? It's not. Yeah, this Primordial is pretty good. The fact that it's a 5/4 with Intimidate actually means you can probably chunk in for 5 pretty easily. And then you put like so much power on the board, which is pretty sweet. In the same vein, things like Inferno Titan is another really great, you play this and it closes out games. And I feel like you could swap out some of the things like Elder Brain. I get it. It's value. But it doesn't put as much power on the board as the Primordial. So swaps like this will help you get that like closing power. Let's find something else that's good. Maybe something with what if I just search for like let's search for creatures with double strike. There's actually not that many. Avatar of Slaughter, definitely. Blast Furnace Hellkite is actually also pretty sweet here. This definitely closes out games. Blast. Blast Furnace Hellkite. Dragon Tyrant is another, like, also pretty crazy one with the fire breathing. And being able to, like, blitz it in with haste, you can definitely kill some people. Heartless Summoning? Heartless Summoning is a pretty fun option for this deck. But I feel like he doesn't need more value or more of that effect, What's up, Foxels? Thank you. Happy New Year to you, too. It's good to be back after a little holiday break. Yeah, I feel like mostly stuff like that is, those are some good options for like big finishers. And then swapping some of the value cards for them, maybe. Like maybe Overseer of the Damned, because like I don't worry, I get it. Removal, good, yes, I'm all for that. But it does just kill one creature, and then like probably eat some removal. It doesn't actually like kill your opponent. Whereas like Inferno Titan can also ping down small creatures, but then has the ability like because when you give it haste, be able to enter, deal 3 damage to something, attack, deal 3 damage. You can kill a big creature with Inferno Titan. So, and then this, if you don't blitz it, but if you just cast it, will close out games because it does a lot of damage. So I'd say something like that. Cut some of the value creatures, add some more definitive win cons. Like this, creatures attacking your opponents have double strike. Giving your whole team double strike is insane. And like, if your artist in a Kozilek is cracking in for 20, like they're in big trouble. So yeah, I think those are my suggestions. All right, moving on to the next list. Oh, here we go. This user made a This user made a SIG deck based on mine. They made like a budget version of it. And they want to, perhaps lower the budget more. I see. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to. Am I not logged in? Oh, no. Wait. Whoops, I wasn't logged in. Oh, no. Oh, that's why my thing was being weird. Oh, crap. Hang on. Let me add that other deck back. Whoops. Why didn't it, like, prompt me to log in? Does worm coil work here? I mean, worm coil could work. It's not like not a terrible one. It doesn't do that much damage though, you know. What did I say? Inferno Titan Sepul Primordial Blast Furnace Hellkite Tyrant. Oh, it was Tyrant something, right? It's just, oops. Is it just Dragon Tyrant? Is that what it is? It is Dragon Tyrant. Okay. Dragon Tyrant. There we go. And then we can move Elder Brain there and Overseer there. Boom. Got it. All right. Now back to back to looking at this for real, for real. All right, I'm gonna clone the stack. Put this in my deck doctors. There we go. Huzzah, we did it. Okay, so SIG. You want to get the cost of this down and then see if I missed any important things. Yeah, what up, Mike? I'm alright. I'm alright. Bit tired. Busy week. So if we want to get the budget down, there's a lot of jank that I put in this deck that isn't like actually good or necessary. Let's start by price real quick. So, Collective Restraints is like a very mid card in 2-color decks, and is like, you know, $10 or whatever. I'm just gonna change this. Is like $10 or whatever. It's definitely cuttable, you know. Yeah, it is weird they let me clone it while logged out. I don't know what was that. Breathstealer's Crypt. Breathstealer's Crypt is really funny in my version of the list. But the card's really bad and not worth $8. Savrock doesn't actually work with the commander, which sucks. I know my list initially had it, or my old list did. But it does not work with the commander, which is very cringe. What else? I do like Expropriate as a win con in decks like this, but it is pretty pricey, and we can find cheaper win conditions. I think he did a good job making the mana base budget. Bloodchief Ascension. Probably gonna remove that. Vial Consumption is really good in this list. We'll keep that. It's probably worth the $10 for this deck. Okay. All right, let's add a few things back into the list. And you know what? Let's look at my SIG list as well. I can remember some of the things that I did. Okay. I think that for the most part, a lot of my list is similar to yours. What I think we want is like a little bit more finishing power, you know? You built a Kahiri deck after seeing my video on it. Works really well, thanks. Yeah, it's that Kahiri list is really sweet. Like, I played a very, very similar deck for a long time, and it's really strong. A lot of people really like that deck, and I'm very happy that people liked it. I'm thinking, I mean, I don't know, you tell me, chat. Should I just, like, make that kind of a long-running series? Like, I could do a third 3 budget decks to try, you know? 3 budget decks that keep up or whatever. You know what I didn't hear a lot of was people playing the the mono red list. That one might have been too jank to actually see play. So yeah, I like the Talion and Nezahal addition to this. I think this is pretty fun. All right, let's add a few more goading things. Bloodthirsty Blade. So, Collective Restraints is kind of like a propaganda effect here, but Bloodthirsty Blade's probably better in this list. Commandeer, interesting. Suspended Sentence. I don't even know what this does. Destroy target creature an opponent controls. That player loses 3 life. Exile it with... Oh, interesting. I think I want to also suggest Cling to Dust. When I was playing this deck, because it's a politics deck and you need to go really long, things like this that can just repeatedly gain you life randomly and cantrip here and there is actually really good. I wanted to add it to the list, but then I took apart the deck before I ended up adding it. Okay, and then you don't have it here, but yeah, Replication Technique is a really, really good add. So this card's really, really awesome in a politics deck because you can, pitch to somebody that they'll get a copy of their big creature as long as they don't attack you with it. But since it makes a copy of target permanent, you can make 2 Shark Typhoons, and that actually closes out the game like crazy. When your Zoff Consumption, which is not a very good card, makes 3 6/6s with flying, it will close out the game. Is Alien in the deck? No, but it could be. Oh. You mean the one that goads people, right? The Provocateur? Oh, no. The other one. This one. Whenever you guys your first spell on each opponent's turn, you make a 1/1 thing, and then whenever a fairy bonks someone, you goad it. It's kind of a nice goad option. Good morning, Riwi. How's it going, Alec, man? I'm alright. Pretty tired, to be honest. I've not been sleeping well, but that is neither here nor there. Is that 5 cards, 4 cards? We need like another good solid like finishing spell. You know, it could be, as much as this is the poor man's expropriate, it is still pretty good, you know? Blatant Thievery is really powerful. It's definitely the like bad expropriate though. I'm trying to think of if we got like a better like solid finisher, like stable to a sorcery. This is where EDH Rec comes into play. If I want to play a big finishing card like Blatant Thievery, what are some other cards that might go alongside it? Let's look at some other sorceries. None of these are particularly... Oh, I guess Rise of the Dark Realm is only $5 now. Alright. Let's just do Rise instead of Expropriate. Have you seen the Lorwyn Precon reveals? So what do I think of them? I haven't seen too many other than the face commanders, but they look cool. Clone Legion. Clone Legion in a control deck like this is a little tricky because you have a lot of removal for big stuff, so it's not like it's going to be on board as often. I like the card, but I just don't like it in this list, you know? Gotta stop mainlining Mountain Dew before bed. Yeah, that's probably the problem. Alrighty. And all this crap is like, what, $47? And this is $11? So this will lower the budget quite a bit. I would say other things, if you want to keep the budget even further down, vial consumption is good, but not necessary for this list. It does also kind of make you the target, so you could axe that. Swan Song can be axed for any other cheap counterspell. It is randomly $8. Spark Double is a bit win more on the list. Could be replaced with a different, just like card draw spell if you wanted. Otherwise, I kind of like everything else you have going on here. I would say those are my main additional budget suggestions, but I think this is a good start if you wanted to lower the cost of the deck. Alrighty. We're going to move on to another deck. There we go. Those two got added. Perfect. Oh, is this Craven the Hunter? This is Craven the Hunter. Alright. Alright, I'll look at your Craven deck. Broccoli. Okay, so the budget is 40 Canadian dollars. How many freedom dollars is that? $40 Canadian is 20. Okay, so 30. Oh, I'm gonna say rounding up, $30 budget, and we're at 34. So you want to shave off a little bit. Okay, I see. Mountain Dew is bad for you, but it comes in fun colors. So that's fair. That's fair, Blood Artist. I only have my Mountain Dew in one color though, because I have a soda stream. So I craft my own Mountain Dew. The full precons I showed off. We can after this deck, we can do some spoilers. We can look at some spoilers. Here, let me update the titles. Lorwyn spoiler doc. All right. Well, we'll do this deck real quick, and then we will quickly look at some spoilers. Okay, I don't know what Craven does. What does Craven do? Trample. Whenever a creature an opponent controls with greater power among creatures that player controls dies. Oh, with the greatest power. Oh, draw a card. Okay, so when you kill the biggest thing your opponents have, very funny, you get to draw a card, put a counter on it. Yeah, you definitely. Oh, you want more repeatable removal? Yes, I agree. This is like a control commander. Interesting. Well, for repeatable removal, we do have. I don't think this is a budget card. Oh, not oppression. Oh, I'm blanking on the name. Oh no. I feel like I talk about this card all the time. It's got like what was attrition. This card's $20. Okay, well this is probably not within your $30 budget, I guess. But we need stuff like attrition. Repeatable removal. Our best option would probably be playing something like a Mimic Vat. And then stuff like Conjurer's Closet. And then playing stuff with ETBs that can remove things. So like, duplicate. I guess duplicant doesn't kill, it exiles. Here we can do that from the other deck. Overseer of the Damned. Oh, it's already in the list. Okay. Royal Assassin is cheap. Royal Assassin. Yeah. It's already in the list. I see it. It's right there. But yes, Royal Assassin. Here, let's do another EDH rec check. Royal Assassin. What? Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to that creature's power. Whenever it attacks, you transform it. It's a 3/2 trample and lifelink. When he dies, return to the battlefield face up. That's kind of fun. That's kind of grindy. I like that. I've never seen that card before. Here's the original Craven the Hunter. At the beginning of your upkeep, an opponent controls no permanents with bounty counters on it, put a bounty counter on it. Whenever your permanent with a bounty counter dies, you gain 3 life, draw a card. Sure. Not what I was looking for, though, for the Royal Assassin. Avatar of Woe? Yeah, that's a good one. Avatar of Woe. This goes pretty good. Stronghold Assassin? What is that? Stronghold. Actually, I don't know what Stronghold Assassin does. Sacrifice a creature to destroy target non-black creature. I don't know if we have enough sack fodder for that, but that's a maybe. What's that green creature with persist that destroys like a non creature permanent? Persist, destroy. A Woodfall Primus. Okay, alright. Here are my suggestions. Using ETBs and death triggers and blah blah blah, you can play Mimic Vat and Conjurer's Closet-like effects to loop your Woodfall Primuses, to loop your Chupacabras, your Plague Crafters. That gives you repeatable removal. And all of it is like pretty budget. The most expensive card here is like Avatar, what, $4? But closet's $3. It's you might have to shift things around, but you can get it within budget. And then everything else is like a nickel. Like the Mimic Vat you can find. You reassembled your first Alessia deck from the first patron review. Ooh, I don't know if I'll have time after spoilers, just because I gotta edit the podcast this week. But I will be streaming more this month, and I can take a look at it. All right, let's call it there for deck reviews, and let's take a look at the spoilers. Where the precons spoiled at? Is it on Goldfish? If I go to Lorwyn Equipped spoilers, is it gonna show me the? Is it gonna show me the deck list or something? Oh, here, hot reprints. Yeah, get those reprints. Actually, I kind of want to see what it gets reprinted. Crib swap. These. Let's hide reprints for now. Grub? Who's Grub? Alright. That didn't help too much. I thought that would make it like way bigger. Official WotC site? Oh, okay. Lorwyn Precons. Oh, here we go. I see. Awesome. All right, let's take a look. Oh, whoa. Okay, so let's talk about the two commanders here, I guess. So we have Ashling. This gives your elementals evoke 4, which is neat. It's pretty interesting. And then whenever you sacrifice a non-token elemental, create a token that's a copy of it. It gains haste until end of turn. But on the end step, you can pay Wooburg to keep it into play. So it lets you cheat things into play for 4. But then if you want, you can pay 5 to get the ETB twice effectively, right? Because you'll evoke it, make the you get the ETB, it dies. Then this thing will make a token copy of it that has haste. So you like double the ETB, I guess? Eh? Interesting. And then the other one, this one gives something Myriad, and it's got like a pile of keywords. So really focus on the ETBs for the elementals. You get +2/+2 and tramples down the turn, sure. Then it has Encore. The Encore is like pretty powerful, right? +6/+6 to your whole team. That is a lethal strong thing. Yeah. I think both these, I guess I didn't really give my opinions. I think these are both neat commanders. I like that they don't just make more of the type, and they don't just make the type bigger, but they provide specific utility. Like giving Myriad works with ETBs and death triggers, and there's like things you can do with that. And then this also works with ETBs and death triggers in a different way. So it is neat. Impulsivity. When this enters, you may cast target instant sorcery from a graveyard without paying its mana cost. Okay. So this lets you cheat on a spell, and again, you can encore it. This threat target creature and opponent controls, you gain 3 life. Encore it. Cards like these are pretty sweet for like casual lists in general, because there's just lots of value, right? 6 mana, you play this, it's a 5/4. You kill a thing, you gain some life. And then late game, for 8 mana, you kill 3 things, and then you slime in for like, 15 or whatever. Belonging, create 3 1/1s with Changeling. Okay, cool. Subterfuge. Target drains flying and whatever deals. Commander your player draw that many cards. Ooh, that's really fun. This is like a really powerful card, actually. Subterfuge is really good. You can play this in a lot of decks. Whenever this creature deals combat damage for a player, draw that many turns. Until end of turn. So if you give something double strike, it will draw a lot of cards. Endurance. Oh, this is a reprint. Okay, sweet. This is a good reprint. Fury. Okay reprint. Avengers Zendikar. Okay reprint. Cavalier of Thorns. Reasonable reprint. Mediocre reprint. Decent reprint. Okay reprint. Okay reprint. Okay reprint. A couple more okay reprints. Is this a reprint? I don't know what Slitherboos is. When this creature leaves the battlefield, choose an opponent. If that player had one or more cards, has more cards in hand than you, draw equal to the difference. Interesting. Band of Progress is really good. Realm Walker, Faber Elder, Mineral Sovereign, Horde of Notions, Maelstrom. With Horde of Notions, there's a third commander, right? Oh, Myriad Exiles. It doesn't work with Death Triggers. Yes and no. With Myriad, you can just sacrifice the tokens. If you have a sacrifice outlet, just sack the tokens to trigger the death triggers. You don't have to let the exiling resolve. They're too scared to reprint Vigor in here, I guess. I don't know. Are they scared to reprint Vigor in here? That's the one that like makes it so you don't take damage. I guess maybe they're too scared it'd be too spooky in a Precon. I don't know. Oh man, I'm just realizing this is a 5-color mana base, isn't it? Ooh-wee. Well, you know how it is. 5-color mana base, and they didn't reprint any triomes. Nope, we got the poopy taplands. Cool. You know, could have used a triome or two in there. Timeless Lotus is actually a really good reprint. This card's weirdly expensive. I agree. This is one of the first Kindred commanders in a while that is kind of interesting. Yeah, it's not just an overrun. It's not just make more tokens. It's actually pretty cool. I think they did a good job with this. I was hoping the land base would be at least okay. Seems a bit. It's gonna be a little rough. Now this deck is green heavy. If you'll notice, this is a very green heavy 5-color list. And they did give you like slightly more, like you have, this one and this one, which have the forest type. So if you wanted to upgrade it, it's not too bad to add some like more of the cycling green lands and then adding like nature's lore type effects for some reasonable rampant fixing. Sorceries. Elemental Stampede. Create a number of 5 red and green elementals equals the number of colors among permanents you control. Then gain life equal to the number of creatures you control. That's kind of fun. I actually really like this card. Colors among permanents you control. It's really good with like guideline station decks and stuff. Haunting Voyage. That's a reprint. Shadow of the Sky, Blasphemous Act, Distant Melody, Kadabra's Reach, Cultivate, Crib Swap, Reference to the Stag, Kindred Summons, Return to the Path, Reality Shift. 2 Crib Swaps? Dang. I should put 2 Crib Swaps in my deck. Springleaf Paradise. When this enchantment enters, create X/1/1 shapeshifters with Changeling. Okay. Creatures you control have tap, add 1 minute. Whoa, okay, so this is a really powerful card. Whoa, okay. Well, this is a staple in like any green deck that cares about types. Hoofprints of the Stag, Descendants Fury, Cream of the Crop, Gearworks Uprising, Fertile Ground, Abundant Growth. Okay. I mean, seems like an okay Precon. I'm probably not gonna buy it, but okay. Now this Precon is the first Precon in many years that I actually think is kind of interesting. I haven't seen the rest of the cards, but just the commanders. Oh. Okay, so this one's really sweet. It Jundin 1, 4/4, Ward Blight 2. So if they don't have any creatures that can't remove your dude, right? I think that's how Blight works. You have to put two -1 counters on a creature you control. And then whenever one or more -1/-1 counters are put on a creature, draw a card if you controlled that creature. If you don't, its controller loses 1 life. So you ping someone when you -1 their stuff. You draw cards when it goes onto yours. So then you get like tons of value for stuff that puts counters on everything, which is pretty great. Yes, Josh. Shocks are a really good pickup right now because they're still fairly cheap, and the other half of the cycle is going to get reprinted here. Right now is the time to pick up your one of every shock for your commander decks. And then Reaper King No More, which Reaper King I always thought was one of the coolest looking dudes. Like, man, look at this pumpkin head. Anyway, when he enters, you put a -1/-1 counter of each of up to 2 target creatures. Whenever a creature an opponent controls with a counter on it dies, -1/-1 counter specifically, you may put that card onto the battlefield under your control only once each turn. Golly. Oh, Jund control. It's so sweet. Oh, what a cool commander. Okay. All right, let's look at the rest of this junk. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card and blight 1. Cool. Dread Tiller. When this creature enters, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. When a creature with a -1/-1 counter on it dies, you may put a land from your hand or graveyard on the battlefield tapped. Cool. Oft Nabbed Goat. Okay. Pay 1, draw a card, gain control of this creature, put a -1/-1 counter on it. Your opponents may activate this ability and only as a sorcery. Interesting. Whenever this creature dies, if it had 1 or more -1/-1 counters on it, then its owner draws that many cards and each other player loses that much life. This is funny. So you want to keep, like, grabbing the goat. I like how we got 2 Jund decks and 2 counters decks in a row and only 3 decks. That's actually true. Which commander deck is this? I thought there were only 2. This is the Jund one. This is the not the elemental one. This is the -1/-1 counter one. Village Pillagers. One of this creature enters, it deals 1 damage to each creature your opponent controls. Cool. Oh, it has Wither, so it puts a counter on all of them. And then whatever creature an opponent controls with a counter on it dies, create a tapped treasure token. Now that says any counter, right? So that one can go into other decks as well. I guess this works in like Kenrith because you can put counters on your opponent's stuff, right? Okay, here's another legendary creature. When he dies, create a number of 1/1 green sapperlings equal to the number of counters amongst creatures target player controls. Double the number of each. Okay, interesting. Yeah, Wither makes that card really good. Necroskitter, great reprint for this deck. Trade Perdition, funny card. Trade Perdition's funny in this deck specifically because lowering its toughness makes it more dangerous, and it's a thing that can hold up to 12 -1/-1 counters. Some reprints. I'm very happy they reprinted the Scorpion God in this. Otherwise, this card would be like crazy expensive. Carnifex Demon, Puppeteer Click, Dusk Urchins, Midnight Banshee, Archfiend Ifnir. Right. All good reprints. Grave Venerations. 4-mana enchantment. When this enters, you become the Monarch. At the beginning of your end step, if you're the Monarch, return up to 1 target creature from your graveyard to your hand. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. I don't know if that does anything for this deck. Puka's Covenant. When a creature you control with a counter on it dies, you may return another target permanent, mana value less than or equal to the number of counters on that creature from your graveyard to your hand. Do this only once each turn. Alright, Everlasting Torment. Everlasting Torment is such a funny card. All damage is dealt as though it's Wither. Lasting Tarfire. They made each instant put a counter that creature. Okay. Nothing too crazy there. The lands. Now, this land base is going to feel a lot better because it is a 3-color deck. So having the cycling lands and check lands is pretty good. Let's see. Withermaker's tools. Whenever one or more -1/- counters are put on a creature, put a charge counter on this artifact. Add 1 mana of any color. Sacrifice this artifact. Create X 2/2 scarecrows. This is the number of charge counters on this artifact. Cool. Not that good, but whatever. Hey, Trivial reprint. Thank goodness. Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Contagion Class, Commander Sphere. Eventide Shadow. Remove any number of counters from among permanents on the battlefield. You draw cards and lose life for the number of counters removed this way. Very cool. Put 1, 2, or 3 target creature cards from graveyards onto the battlefield under your control, each of them with an additional -1/-1 counter. Black Sun's Zenith, Painful Truth, Persist, Chain Reaction, Burning Curiosity. Alright, got it. Some good reprints. Assassin's Trophy, Fire Covenant. Whoa. That's an interesting card for a precon. Liliana, Death Wielder. Is this one good? What does this one do? Put a -1/-1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Sure. Destroy a creature with a counter on it. Okay. Return all creatures. Okay. And then this Vraska, because it proliferates. Cool. Flourishing Defense is a good reprint. Oh, was this card expensive? Where was... I didn't see it. Where was Flourishing Defense? Oh, this one? Whenever a -1/-1 counter is put on a creature you make... Oh, because the other thing costs a spike. I didn't even realize. Okay, interesting. Alright, this... I don't know if I'm getting the precon still, to be honest, because I really don't... I don't really want all this junk and a bunch of this other stuff. But the Reaper King specifically is like, man, this commander has me very excited. I just being able to steal creatures is really sweet, but it's like, you know, you got a -1/- counter, then like remove it. But it's one of these like control decks where you can run no win conditions. This could be like a no win condition control deck, and as soon as somebody plays something big, you just yoink it. Really, really cool. Really cool card. Very excited about that. Have people already started building like this? Is it already on EDH Rec? Oh, there's some. There's some. Yeah, I'm pretty interested in these. I think it's been a long time since I've seen precon face commanders that I think are like legitimately interesting, and I think all 4 of these are actually pretty interesting. I think this is what precons kind of should look like. You know, I don't know if it's like a bad precon or not, but like what I don't like about for players that have like a reasonable collection of cards, I don't I'm not looking to buy precons, because if I'm going to, you know, let's say I'm going to build this deck, right? I already have a bunch of like green-red lands from a different deck, and I have some black-red lands sitting around. So like I already have like a good enough mana base, and I'll just put it together if I'm taking apart my green-red deck, for example. And then the fluff cards that are just like the, you know, generic good ones, I also already have. You know, I have Rampant Growth or whatever. If I decide I want to put that in there, I already have an Assassin's Trophy. I just don't need to buy duplicates of cards. So I would usually just buy, you know, the face commander for like $1, and then like a couple of the like specific cards for a couple bucks, and then like call it there. It's just gonna save me like, because precons are like $45. You know, like if I'm not buying $40 of singles from this list, then it's like just not worth me doing that. So It's just not. There's no point to that. So I would rather just. You found that most of your commanders you own in paper are precons. What do you have? I don't have anything against precons. There's nothing against them. I just don't. I just don't want to spend $45 and then have this pile of cards sit on my desk. Like I don't need another command tower. I don't need another woodland cemetery. I don't need another rootbound crag. And like, what am I gonna do with a second rootbound crag? I only have one green red deck. So it just like the Chamele's a good reprint. But like other than that, like my version of the list is probably not gonna have Vraska, so I don't. This would just like rot in a binder. I just have no use for it. So I find that it's usually better to just buy singles, especially because what I'm doing with the deck is often not what the precon is gonna be doing. Put them in a cube. I already don't play the cube I currently have, so like I don't need to build another cube. Anyway, precon rants aside, I mean I think these are fine if you're like a new player. If you don't have any cards, like these are really great starting points. If you're willing to spend the $45, right? Actually, I think they're going up to like 47. Oh, you were asking about the design of precon commanders. You know what? Let's look at that right now. Let's go to precons. All right. This one is a crucible, and then when you sacrifice another thingamajig, you put counters onto like one thing. This did not inspire me in any capacity. This was a proliferating commander. It's like kind of neat because you tap and untap it. This one was okay. Y'shtola, complete snooze fest, does everything. Terra, this also does the thing that it needs you to do, mills, and then it reanimates like weenies. There's already a reanimate weenie commander, and I wasn't playing Elsha to begin with. So this is just another Elsha, not super interested. Equipment commander, me. There's like 8,000 equipment commanders. I didn't build any of those, so I'm not building this one. This one's kind of wacky. I'll give it that. It's kind of interesting. This is power crept, whatever the other Sultai commander is that makes zombies. I didn't play that one, so I'm not gonna play this one. This is like my least favorite card printed last year. This is the most boring card of all time, maybe, arguably, at least last year. When you cast your second spell each turn, you copy it. That one's kind of funny. Although like the way this deck plays is like either you chain extra turns or you do jank, and it's like you kind of kneecap yourself to build the deck. It wants you to do something, but it doesn't. You end up not doing that. This is like Doran, but power crept. I didn't play Doran, so I don't know why I would play power crept Doran. Sidisi, thank you. Zergo. Zergo's kind of neat. But it's like a token commander, and there's like a billion of those, and I didn't really play any of those, so I don't know. This one didn't inspire me. Zombie commander, super boring. I think this was like a really unpopular deck. Energy commander, there's not enough energy stuff to like brew, so it's like kind of parasitic. And that's my only problem with the -1/-1 counters, and what might lead me to not building it is there's just might not be enough room to brew. Valgavoth, this is boring. This is such a boring commander. I know this is like a hot take or whatever because people like Valgavoth, but this is it just gets bigger and draws a card. It's like a value engine and finisher, and it does the thing by forcing them to like pay life at the same time. So it encapsulates everything I don't like about modern card design. It does everything. It has no downsides. It also is card advantage. It's also a finisher. Other than removal, it fits every role in your deck. Winter's kind of neat. This one's sort of interesting. Simic Landfall, It's like it's neat. It's kind of a strange card, but I wasn't that interested. I don't know. Precon commanders just don't interest me. It's just, well, I could go on forever and ever, but like a lot of them are just not particularly intriguing to me. It's not why I play commander, right? Like, I don't play Commander to get a power crept version of a card. Is this limited to face commanders exclusively? No, there's lots of legendary creatures that I think are not particularly interesting. It's just like a lot of these are like Tavall specifically is like just a power crept version of another card. And like I already didn't play that card, you know? I don't know. I just have not. It's been a long time since I've seen a. I'm trying to remember. When was the last time I saw a Precon face commander that I really liked? I thought Gimbal was cool. This was pretty unique. Master of Keys. I've never seen anyone play it. I actually haven't given it much thought outside of CDH. I know there's some CDH combos you can do with Master of Keys. This is unrelated to Lorwyn. I wanted to scroll through some more Lorwyn spoilers. We got sidetracked. You want the deck to support the commander more than I want the commander. Yes. Thank you, Squillfire. Yes, a lot of times I don't like making your commander the centerpiece of your deck is one of the biggest traps of all time, right? Because then you go, hey, I have, this thing that's really powerful, and my deck folds if it's not in play, and then it gets removed 3 times, and you lose, and you have a terrible game of Magic the Gathering. Having your commander be a enabler is oftentimes having to be an enabler and a payoff is a problem, because then your deck is just support for it. Like I think Gonti doesn't fall into this category because it is a payoff for stealing stuff and it steals things, but it's a payoff for having a bunch of like weenie dudes, and you can build a deck of weenies with effects that, like the Oran Frostfang plus unblockable creatures is like legitimately good, regardless of if your commander is play, and your commander amplifies that. That's why you play Slimefoot and Squee. Slimefoot and Squee works. No, you're good. It's fine. You can derail me all you want. Tangents are a staple of the stream. Speaking of tangents, Tower Winder. Chat, I want your opinion. Is Tower Winder good? I've really thought about this for a while. 2-mana 1/1 Reach Death Touch is not amazing, but it's not horrible, right? Like this isn't a terrible stat line. Reach and Death Touch is I don't want to attack into that. But then it's it tutors up Command Tower. Command Tower is pretty useful, eh? Sixth Moon, what do you need the answer to? Rocco is support and payoff technically, but doesn't have that issue. I mean, you can build a well-constructed deck with a powerful commander. Those aren't mutually exclusive. Good if you like Death Touch or Evasion. Otherwise, Land Cyclers are better. Shit, you might be right. Oh, about Tower Wonder. I've really thought about this. I've thought about this. This card's $5. Has it never been? Do people play this? I feel like I've never seen. I think I've straight up never seen anyone play it. Now, don't get me wrong. I also like it because it's a cute little snake, and I love lizards or reptiles. So, unrelated chat. I'm going to the Pomona Reptile Show this weekend. So if anybody else is swinging by the Reptile Show, feel free to dap me up. Good defense and a tutor if you don't have Tower yet, right? Here's the awkward thing is if you draw Command Tower specifically, this card is pretty booty. If it was 1 mana Command, I think this is a staple. At 2 mana, it's interesting. You think it's bad? Tutoring up a land in hand for 2 minutes mid. No. Sylvan Scrying is a legitimate Magic card, right? Right. Sylvan Scrying is a good Magic the Gathering card. This is powerful, but it's powerful because it gets you Field of the Dead, right? Like this gets you Field of the Dead. This gets you like Eye of Ugin. This lets you, put broken Magic the Gathering cards in your deck. This is not that, but it does have 1/1 in Death Touch. Oh, Skullwinder? Skullwinder gives your opponent something too. We talked about it on the podcast. You think building around a theme rather than a centerpiece is way less fun? I also like building around a centerpiece, but it's not like there's nothing wrong with building around a centerpiece. If you look at decks I currently play, the Unspeakable 100% is the centerpiece of this deck. I mean, it's a polymorph list. It's the only creature. The whole deck is built around the Unspeakable, but it's not like a thing that my opponents all see in the command zone and realize is coming. And the Unspeakable is also not so powerful that if my opponent knows that that's what I'm doing in this deck, they don't have to shut me down or lose the game because they have plenty of turns. The problem with these centerpiece commanders is they're so powerful that your opponents have to either kill you or remove your commander or they lose the game. Whereas with this deck, even if they know what I'm doing, if the Unspeakable's in play for 5 turns, they still don't lose the game, So it's fine to have a centerpiece, but it's like if your centerpiece is so threatening that everyone has to remove it, No, I agree. I agree. Olympus Public Affairs. Sylvan is much better, yeah. You don't think there's any reason to play Tower in a 2-color deck? I guess, yeah, if you're in 4 and 5 colors, it's definitely better, right? Because you want that Pentaland. Okay. I want to scroll through a few more Lorwyn spoilers. Wistfulness. This is the green-blue one. Exiles an artifact or enchantment. If double blue was cast, you can draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Sure, it's okay. You like your Merfolk deck, pulls out a Paradise Mantle Wind. Does anyone play? Yeah, I'll also be able to play on Tabletop Simulator. Oh, then this is just the precons. Okay. Well, we talked a lot. We talked about a decent amount of these on the podcast. So whenever I finish editing that, you'll see this week. There's a few things we didn't talk about though. Harmonized Crescendo. With Convoke, this is pretty powerful, and at instant speed. Return up to 1 or 2 target non-permanents to their owner's hand. Then if you control a Merfolk, create a 1/1 Merfolk for each permanent return this way. Cool. How many cards did they drop in one day? They had 40 cards yesterday. I don't know. The spoiler season's only 1 week. So like by the end of this week, we'll have all the cards spoiled. So instead of doing the 2-week spoiler, they're condensing it into 1. And then Wizards is spoiling more. There's like less creators that are spoiling, which is a difference. It's something they're trying out for Lorwyn. Behold a Goblin in Exile, which beholding a Goblin and exiling is kind of interesting. Is you reveal the Goblin in hand and you exile it, which is kind of neat. And then usually whenever this creature leaves the battlefield, you get the thing back. Pay 1 life, blights 2. Target opponent blights 2. Activate as a sorcery. Interesting. So if you play this for 4, you can then pay 3 life, force your opponent to put 6 -1/-1 counters on stuff, and then it kills itself, and then you get the thing back. Behold, my boy. Yeah, that's good. The uncounterable ward goblin. Oh, the 2-mana one. We actually didn't talk about it on the podcast. But that card is really good. Hexing Squelcher, yeah. Red and 1, 2/2 goblin sorcerer. Ward pay 2 life. Spells you control can't be countered. Other creatures you control have ward pay 2 life. Golly, this is a good card. This card is super strong. Wonder how good the new evoke creatures are going to be in different formats. They seem to have potential. These evoke things with the double red, like this one, these are not going to be very good because the way the good evoke cards work is you play the evoke cost, you get the ETB, you blink it, you get the ETB again, and you get the stats. With this, when you blink it, because of the way it's worded, you don't get the enters the battlefield effects again. So it doesn't have the cheese potential. Instead, it's just modal spell early, bigger spell later. I don't think these are going to see play in older formats. Does it really matter? Does the ward really matter? So for Commander, I think the ward pay 2 life is not that big a deal. But this can't be countered, and all of your spells can't be countered. Like, the card Vexing Structure is like a really good Magic card. Makes target spell uncounterable, which has some political implications. You can be like, hey, your thing, I'll force your board wipe through, make sure they can't counter it, blah, blah, blah. But it costs mana to do. This is just a 2-drop that obliterates blue decks, period. Like, this is uncountable, and your other spells can't be countered, just period. Crazy card. Like, this is like a CDH all-star. As you can see, it's already pre-ordering for like $24 because of that. It's literally 2 mana. So I think this Vibrance card is fine. I think it is a plenty good Magic the Gathering card. But I don't think it's like better than Sylvan Scrying is. Because it's harder to cast for that mode. And unless you're specifically green-red, I don't know. Maybe it ends up being Sylvan Scrying copies, 4 through 8. But even there's not that much Sylvan Scrying in older formats either. Like Tron plays Sylvan Scrying because it's 1 green. If it was double green, Tron couldn't play the Sylvan Scrying. Your Kotis deck? I don't know what Kotis is. Kotis. This? Which one? I don't know. Would beg to differ with some. I don't know. I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at. I think that these evoke elementals are not as powerful as ones in the past. They're harder to break. Hexing Sorcerer is going straight into your Goblins deck. I mean, yeah, 100%. Oh, Sibsig Champion. I don't think I've ever seen anyone play this card. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a creature spell from a graveyard by exiling it. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, this is a great use for the evoke elementals because it casts them. Same with Carador, right? Is the Ghost Chieftain? Did I spell Carador? Anyway. Same with Carador, right? Once per turn, you can cast each of your dudes. By the way, what happened to Carador? This dude fell off like a cliff. I think this card's still good. Man, that is hideous. Good lord. What did they do to him? Oh, is this like claymation? That's crazy. That's awesome. Yeah. People are complaining about the goblins saying it will ruin CDH. I don't think... ruining CDH is kind of a bold claim. I don't think the silly goblin's gonna ruin anything. Yeah, it's not a painting. Yeah, that's cool. This is a really interesting Carador. Should look at the whole set from the artist. I think I can just click on the artist here, right? Laura Plankster. Oh yeah, these are. Oh, I remember this now because I remember the aura shards. I kind of forgot Carador was part of that. Very cool. Um, getting sidetracked yet again. How far has Carador fallen these days? Dang, look at that. This used to be like the most popular Absent commander. And it's just whoop, so far down now. He just isn't busted like modern commanders. He is. That's the thing is like, even though he's not like broken or anything, I feel like he's gotten better with time. Like he's aged so well because there's so much like he gets better as creatures get better, right? And just being able to like recast like better creatures, and he's got more support. Like Gravebaker Lamia is like really good. The new Evoke Elementals, great. I feel like there's so much like more good stuff with him. I don't know. That's like something to think about because one thing that's kind of fun with cards like that let you cast from your graveyard is things with adventure. You can like recast adventures. It's kind of like Kess lets you do this as well. Like Kess lets you cast the adventure half, and then you can recast the creature and like loop it for infinite value. Kind of cool. Necrobloom is kind of better Carador. I think Necrobloom is different. Right, Carador is recasting creatures. Necrobloom is a landfall. Like token, go wide. I think they're very different decks. Did I see the 1-mana 7/7 from the main set? No. You know what it's called? The 1-mana 7/7? I don't see it. Am I missing something? You meant you meant Muldrotha. Yeah, Muldrotha is kind of better Carador. Yeah, I do agree with that. That is true. Does Carador say once a turn or once on each of your turns? Man, each of your turns, yeah, man. Oh shoot, it's already like 11:30. All right, chat. I think I gotta get going. I still love Carador. Maybe I'll build one. I don't know. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the deck reviews. If you want to get your deck reviewed like earlier in the stream, you just gotta join the Patreon. Tier 2 and 3 can get their deck reviewed. And yeah, Lorwyn spoilers. Pretty excited for the sets. We'll talk more about it in the podcast once I finish editing it. I will catch all of you later. Carador also is like very resistant to removal, which is pretty sweet.